At this moment, Bella tied her hair up in a casual bun and embellished it with a diamond hair clip. She wore a sky blue costume and sang, "Think of Me," from Phantom of the Opera, with Asher as her audience. Her eyes were so expressive and charming. After the song ended, Asher applauded and smiled endearingly. "Not bad. Celeste taught you well. If we were in ancient times, you could definitely win the heart of a prince. Who wants to be a princess? If I get to choose, I want to be a ruling queen." Bella snapped her fingers loudly. "Well, our three stepmothers certainly treat you like a princess." Asher smiled helplessly. 1. Bella lowered her eyes and sat next to her eldest brother. She felt sorry for her three stepmothers. "Bella, they missed you dearly over the past 3 years. They care a lot about you and have asked me about you in private." "What did you tell them?" "Bella, when you left home and joined Doctors Without Borders, I knew that you were doing it because you were mad at Dad." Asher raised his arm and gently held her shoulders. He furrowed his brows and said with a hint of sadness, "But we can't control our father's behavior. What's more, no one in this world is flawless. Even Justin has his faults. You've loved him for many years. Didn't you notice all his faults after being married to him for 3 years?" Bella's long eyelashes trembled. She held the cool jade bracelet on her wrist. "The only difference is that you can choose to leave Justin, but you can never sever the blood relationship with our father. Since you can't cut off ties with Dad, why don't you try to accept him as he is? Dad loves you very much. His 3 wives are also kind people. They've kept the house in good order all these years, and they've been nothing but humble. I can vouch for them." In fact, Asher did not know that Bella had already accepted her 3 stepmothers as early as 2 years ago. Ian bandaged Justin's wound and left the room. Justin got a headache when he thought of Rosalind crying, making a fuss, and smashing things. In his memory, Rosalind was gentle and sweet. She would not do anything out of character. He sighed and thought that it was only natural for people to change. Even so, Rosalind was his childhood sweetheart. She accompanied him through his darkest and most desperate days, so he was obsessed with her. Justin was insistent on marrying Rosalind, no matter what. He endured the pain and signed off on some documents. Inadvertently, Justin's eyes fell on the suit that was placed on the sofa. Justin stood up and walked over to pick up the clothes. He looked at them carefully. Although he was about the same height as Asher Thompson, his shoulders were a little wider than Asher's, and he had a bigger build. Justin examined the suit and noticed that it was more his size. "Ads by Pub Future. How ugly," he sneered. A few minutes later, Justin tried on the suit. He stood in front of the full-length mirror and took a look while stretching out his arms. It fit perfectly, and the workmanship was comparable to high-end brands. How could a country girl have such good taste in suits? At this time, there was a knock on the door. Wilma, Justin's nanny, came in with a glass of warm milk. "Oh, young master, you finally wore the suit that the young madam made for you. She'll be very happy when she finds out." Wilma could not hide her joy. No one at Tideview Manor, besides Wilma, took Anna seriously. Wilma was Justin's nanny, single-handedly raised him. "What did you say?" Justin was startled. "Who had? Isn't this the suit that the young madam made for you?" "I don't think I'm mistaken. The young madam asked me to pick it up from a tailor a month ago and told me to keep it a secret, saying that it's your birthday gift." Birthday gift? Justin was stunned. His birthday was still quite far off. "Wilma, I know you're close to Anna, but she has left, so you don't have to side with her anymore." Justin frowned. "Young master, I've watched you grow up since you were a baby. If there is anyone I have to side with in this family, it's definitely you." Wilma came over and looked at the handsome man in the mirror. "The young madam said that it takes a long time to make a suit. She sewed every stitch by herself and even selected and customized the fabrics and buttons. She is usually busy with household chores and can only spare a little time every day to go to the tailor's. That's why she made it a month in advance and hid it in her closet for fear that you'd find it before your birthday." Justin felt like someone had punched him in the chest. He widened his eyes in disbelief. "If you don't believe me, take a look at the label. It even has your name on it." Justin quickly took off his suit jacket and threw it on the sofa as if it had caught on fire. "We're divorced." I'm not interested in knowing what she has done for me. You should go back to your room and rest. Young master, why do you want to divorce the young madam? She's a good wife who is completely devoted to you. Devoted to me, Justin sneered. How could she be devoted to me when she threw herself into another man's arms right after she left me? The young madam wouldn't do that. Wilmer was shocked. It takes a while to see someone's true colors. Justin stopped thinking about Anna. The blood rushed to his head. Since she didn't love me, why did she have to pretend for so long? Did she think that I would fall in love with her over time? Did she think that I was easy to fool and that she could manipulate me easily? Young master, I think there must be some misunderstanding. I could tell how much the young madam loved you. Wilma shook her head in regret and walked over to fold the suit. That's enough. Stop defending her. Ads by Pub Future. Young master, you'll regret having lost her one day. Bella wanted to sleep in, but her biological clock woke her up at 5 p.m. Usually, at this hour, she would have to make breakfast for the Salvadors. Now, she no longer had to breathe in cooking fumes and cook for a large family. She no longer had to care about them. Divorce was great. Bella simply washed up and put on tight-fitting sportswear. Then she went paddle boarding on the lake behind the villa. The lake was surrounded by beautiful flowers, and the birds were chirping away. Bella's graceful and lean figure crossed the calm lake quickly, leaving behind some ripples. After finishing her exercise, she ate breakfast and washed up. Then she went downstairs, looking rejuvenated. Steven's eyes widened when he saw Bella on the stairs. Today, Bella tied up her long hair and wore bold makeup. Her skin was flawless, and her eyes were gleaming. She wore a long black coat with a red lace dress underneath that showed off her slim curves. Her long and toned legs made Steven swoon. Hey, wipe off your drool. Bella walked up to him and snapped her fingers. Steven blushed with embarrassment. Bella, you look beautiful today. Steve, you're Ash's chief secretary. Can you please stop looking like a lovesick idiot whenever you see a beautiful woman? Bella shook her head in disappointment. Bella's Rolls-Royce drove to the KS World Hotel. The beautiful boss appeared in the restaurant without notice. Although she was a world-class beauty, none of the employees dared to look at her. They were frightened, like mice that saw a cat. They did not even dare to breathe too loudly. The employees had learned their lesson yesterday and did not dare to cut corners. At work, the marble floor of the hotel was perfectly polished, and all the ingredients prepared were fresh. Bella inspected the hotel, gave some instructions, and returned to the office. Steve, I'll be fine here for the time being, so you can go back to my brother. I don't have to go back. Steven said with a smile, Mr. Asher said that I will be your secretary from now on. What? Bella's beautiful eyes narrowed slightly. Asher said that he has a gift for me today. Could it be you? Steven blinked his big eyes innocently and nodded. Bella thought, what the hell? Asher really has a knack for giving gifts. He gifted me an actual person. Seeing that Bella was silent, Steven panicked a little. Bella, do you not want me because I'm a second-hand secretary? Bella scowled. That's bullshit. It's called having a rich work experience. Right. I hope I'll learn a lot from you in the future. I won't ask for much, just a higher salary increment. Steven joked. Is money even a problem? If you do well, I'll make you filthy rich. But if you don't do well, I'll make you a third-hand secretary. Bella rested her chin on her hands and curled her beautiful red lips deviously. Steven gasped and quickly reported on the hotel's current progress. As you requested yesterday, all the bedding from Alia Furniture has been replaced. We have also notified all hotels under the KS Group to replace their bedding within a week. At this time, there was an urgent knock on the door. Bella glanced at Steven. Steven understood and walked over to open the door. Thompson, the vice president of the hotel, Michael Gordon, who was responsible for the mistakes yesterday, barged in. He was so quick that Steven could not stop him. Bella frowned and watched as Michael rushed over to her desk. Mr. Gordon, why are you still here? I've approved your resignation, so you may find another job. Thompson, you can't do this to me. I have worked for this hotel for almost 20 years. I worked so hard for the hotel that I developed many illnesses due to exhaustion. Even your father wouldn't fire me. How could you just fire me like this? Michael was sweating profusely as he yelled at Bella. I've read the details of all the hotel's top executives. Your illness includes fatty liver and gallbladder polyps. It looks like you've got quite a big appetite. Bella sneered. Michael heard the sarcasm in her words and shuddered in fear. I really didn't know that Alia Furniture has been selling poor quality bedding to our hotel. Alia Furniture has been cooperating with us for the past 3 years, and they quoted us a reasonable price. They are also a well-known brand in Sevro, so Before he finished speaking, Bella flicked her hand and threw a document at his feet. This is a detailed account of all the transactions between the hotel and Alia Furniture in the past 3 years. Can't you see that the financial report is full of loopholes when you are in charge of the finance department? Michael picked up the document apprehensively and looked through it. The pages felt like red-hot coals in his hands. I also received an anonymous report. Bella picked up the coffee mug and casually took a sip. Her eyes shone coldly. Someone reported you, saying that you've had close contact with Alia Furniture and received a huge bribe from them to purchase Alia's second-rate bedding in bulk. Michael was so frightened that his teeth chattered, and he almost lost his balance. I won't fire anyone for no reason if I don't have evidence. But I have the evidence, so I won't show any mercy. Mr. Gordon, if you still have any objections, we will resolve the matter through legal means. Ms. Thompson, I am sorry. I was blinded by the benefits and made the wrong decision. Please spare me. If this gets out, I won't be able to find a job again in Sevro. Michael was so frightened that he almost begged her on his knees. Alia Furniture approached me first, saying that they would make me a fortune. Mr. Gold came up with this idea. I thought that all mattresses were pretty much the same, so I didn't think much about it and fell for his tricks. Bella laughed. A vice president who had been in the hotel industry for 20 years started to act dumb in order to protect himself. That's enough, Mr. Gordon. You know what you've done. Rather than wasting your time with me, it will be more practical if you go back and submit a few more resumes. Mr. Lovett will see you off. Michael's face was filled with despair as he was driven out of the office like an unwanted dog. Outside the office, Michael immediately changed his expression and took a deep breath. Ads by Pub Future. That bitch. I'll teach her a lesson. Bella resented seeing the hotel's executives fill their own pockets while disregarding the hotel's interests. Michael Gordon must have a bad reputation among the staff to have a whistleblower stand out as soon as you investigate him. Steven looked excited, like he had gotten his revenge. No one reported him. What? Were you just bluffing? Yup. Bella responded nonchalantly and started to play video games. Her way of stressing was to vent her anger by killing zombies. Even if I was bluffing, he wouldn't have admitted his fault if he was innocent. Steven could not help but applaud this move. Bella was certainly a risk taker. He said, Michael and Alia Furniture have been working together for 3 years. It looks like he's taken quite a big cut. We should sue him and make him spit out everything. We should leave some room for maneuver, just in case. If I press on too hard, the other hotel executives may form a coup. Also, Wyatt was the one who promoted Michael back then, so I should show my father some respect. Bella said nonchalantly while chasing some zombies in the game with a big axe. During this period, get someone to keep an eye on Michael. If he contacts Rosalind's brother again, report it to me immediately. Yes, miss. At this moment, Bella's phone kept beeping with messages from a group chat. Steve, I'm not free now. Will you help me check who's messaging me? Bella concentrated on her game. Steven hurriedly came over to take Bella's phone. Oh, it's a group chat called the Thompson Family Secret Bureau. Your brothers are messaging you. Axel was the one who created this group chat, with members including Bella and her 4 brothers. The reason it was called the Secret Bureau was because her marriage to Justin must be kept secret from everyone else. Bella was so shocked that she could not care less about the game and hurriedly grabbed her phone. After all, Steven was not aware of her marriage and divorce yet. The fewer people who knew about it, the better. Otherwise, she would be in big trouble if this news reached Wyatt. Axel, Bella's second brother, I can't stand it anymore. Justin Salvador is a complete asshole. Declan, Bella's third brother, I'll check if Salvador Corporation has any illegal dealings and will try to make them bankrupt within a month. Drew, Bella's fourth brother, I will try to break Justin's bones within a week. Asher, Bella's eldest brother, Amen. Bella, stop. Someone tell me what's going on. A few seconds later, Axel sent her a link. Axel, that jerkface has already announced his new marriage. Not only that, some anonymous people commented that you were the homewrecker who stole someone's love and forced that jerk's hand in. Ads by Pub Future. Marriage. That was the reason they separated in the first place. Drew. Oh, separated, huh? I'll show them what real separation is. Asher. Drew, fret not yourself because of evildoers, be not envious of wrongdoers. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb. Asher. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret, it leads only to evil. Axel. Ash, please stop talking. You'll grow a halo soon if you continue. Drew. Bella, I will take down all negative news about you in half an hour and remove news of Justin's remarriage from trending topics. Bella. Drew, don't. Bella. Let the storm come. Axel sent a confused emoji. Bella. Because this has nothing to do with me. Justin's ex-wife is Anna Brown, and I am Bella Thompson, heiress of KS Group. Axel. Right. You've never made a public appearance with Justin in the past 3 years, and no outsider has ever seen you. It's unlikely that anyone will find out your true identity, so this news doesn't affect you at all. Bella. But a certain ungrateful bitch is going to have a headache because of this. She curled her red lips smugly. Bella thought, Justin, I've given you a chance to be with your childhood sweetheart. But that woman is ungrateful, so don't blame me for retaliating. Everyone at Salvador Corporation was caught off guard by the sudden news of the CEO's marriage. The public relations department and Ian's phones were bombarded by the media. This news also shocked Severo and the whole country. Justin Salvador was getting married, again. Before the media could ask about his first marriage, he had already gotten divorced. Was it a secret marriage? Severo Daily was the first to release this news. I heard that Ms. Gold personally went to the director of the news channel before the news was released. Ian stared at his phone intently. Now, this article has exceeded 1 million retweets, but the number one trending hashtag is hashtag who is Justin Salvador's ex-wife. The netizens are also criticizing the young madam. Sue them. Justin's handsome face was as cold as an ice sculpture. His eyes were so dark that they looked bottomless. Severo Daily was under Salvador Corporation. This media channel had been advocating for them. Who do you want to sue? Everyone who is involved in spreading this news. Yes, sir. But what about the public opinion? I'm afraid I can't control it. Ian could not help but worry. Sigh. I wonder what the young madam thinks when she sees this. She must be very sad. Justin's eyes suddenly darkened. He immediately picked up his phone and called Asher. Damn it. Justin was calling Asher so often that people might think he had a crush on him. Justin hesitated. Then he saw Rosalind's name on the caller ID. He frowned and had an inexplicable feeling. Rose. Justin calmed down. Justin, come help me. Rosalind cried for help. I'm in your office lobby, surrounded by reporters. I'm so scared. I'll pick you up now. Without hesitation, Justin grabbed his suit jacket and walked out the door. Mr. Salvador, you can't go. Ian hurriedly stepped forward to stop him. Just send your bodyguards to pick up Ms. Gold. If you go in person, the reporters will bombard you. Justin's face was gloomy as he rushed out without any hesitation. Ms. Gold. When is the wedding date with Mr. Salvador? You and Mr. Salvador are said to be childhood sweethearts. How many years have you known each other? What do you think of Mr. Salvador's ex-wife? The article wrote that his ex-wife got between you and Mr. Salvador. Is this true? The reporters' cameras and microphones almost hit Rosalind's face. Although the bodyguards acted as human shields, the scene was still very chaotic. Rosalind pretended to be meek, but in fact, she was overjoyed. She was the one who announced their marital news to the media. She also revealed that Anna was a third party in her relationship with Justin. She thought, that bitch dared to take the bracelet that belonged to me and even humiliate me. So I'll make her a homewrecker that everyone hates. Thank you for your concern, Mr. Salvador, and I will inform you of the good news as soon as possible. Rosalind flashed a demure smile that she thought was particularly pretty in front of the camera. As for Mr. Salvador's ex-wife, Ms. Brown, I know very little about her. Please stop attacking her. After all, they are divorced now, so please let her live in peace. Once she spoke, all the reporters became even more excited. The scene also became more chaotic. Just when Rosalind retreated like a frightened bird, a solid chest shielded her. Justin put his arm around her shoulders and walked quickly toward the door. Ads by Pub Future. Justin, you're finally here. Rosalind's eyes were teary, looking as if she were about to cry. Justin clenched his chiseled jaw and remained silent. Suddenly, he stopped and could not help but turn to look around. He had a feeling that Anna was nearby, watching everything that was happening. But how was that possible? The surveillance camera at the entrance to Salvador Corporation moved slightly. Bella sat in her office and saw everything that had happened outside Salvador Corporation's lobby door clearly. She watched helplessly as Justin shielded Rosalind in his arms. It was a lie to say that Bella was not upset by this. Justin, you're so protective of her, but have you ever protected me once? Bella's eyes turned red. She thought, 2 years ago, on that stormy night, when I was almost dying from pain, I called you in hopes that you would show up. Even though I knew it was a slim chance, I still tried to call you. But you rejected my call. After devoting myself wholeheartedly to you for 3 years, I was just a tool for you to please Grandpa and delay time. You're not worth it, Justin. You were the biggest mistake of my life. At this time, she received a message from the Thompson family secret bureau. Asha, Bella, the director of Savro Daily, who exposed the marital news, has been replaced. Your ex-husband ordered this. It seems like his girlfriend released this news, and it has nothing to do with him. Bella's long eyelashes trembled as she replied. Bella, it's all the same whether it's his girlfriend or him. Axel, yeah, they're the same kind of people. Axel, Bella, I just found some important information. I'll tell you in private. Drew, just say it here. Axel, no, I found this out, so don't you all dare to take credit from me. Find out for yourself. After speaking, Axel sent Bella a voice message. Bella, I found some interesting things about Rosalind. On the surface, Axel was a public prosecutor, but only the Thompson siblings knew that he was also a hacker. Although Axel was not as good as her fourth brother, Declan, he was still useful. No criminal would escape punishment. Ads by Pub Future. It was the same in the case of Rosalind. He sent over a few photos. One of them was a photo of Rosalind dressed scantily and making out with another man. Not bad, Ax. You know your stuff. Bella whistled and flipped through the photos happily. Where did you get these? Rosalind Gold has hundreds of followers on Instagram. I spent the last few days checking them one by one. Then I found out that this man looked suspicious, so I hacked into his account and his phone's photo library to find these treasures. This man is a fitness instructor and has a lot of fans. Thanks for your hard work, Ax. I'll treat you to a big dinner tonight. What about drinks? Too. Okay, we'll go for drinks too. Don't get too excited now. I have something even more jaw-dropping. Even I was shaken. As he spoke, Axel sent over a medical report, followed by several pictures of a woman's abdomen. This is, Bella was startled. Can you believe it? Rosalind gave birth to a child in Meriden. These photos are her stretch marks after giving birth. Bella's shoulders shook. She enlarged the photo and looked at it carefully. That woman wasn't sick at all. She just made excuses to go to the hospital frequently. In fact, she went to the plastic surgery department to remove the stretch marks on her belly. I guess advanced technology just makes things easier for these people with ulterior motives. I have been handling cases for so many years. I've heard of secretly swapping paternity tests, but I've never heard of removing stretch marks. I guess this just means that Rosalind and Justin have yet to sleep with each other. Otherwise, she would have been exposed long ago. Bella breathed a sigh of relief and said, with mixed feelings, that's good. How is that good? Does it matter? He cheated on you anyway. Bella, you have to change your way of thinking. Why would you comfort yourself with this? Axel was afraid that his sister would be soft-hearted and forgive Justin. He just wished that he could run over and shake some sense into her. Bella laughed. Ax, you misunderstood me. I don't love Justin anymore. I just feel less disgusted that he hadn't touched Rosalind while we were still married. Haha, I guess it's karma that Justin's sweetheart cheated on him. Axel continued his rant. That motherfucker deserves it. He doesn't want the gorgeous daughter of the richest man in Hatch Bay and instead insists on marrying a tramp like Rosalind. Well, that's how Justin is. Money can't buy his love. Bella sneered, feeling bitter in her heart. After all, she had been in love with Justin for 13 years, so she would need time to get over him. But no matter what, she promised that she would never fall in love with Justin again. That tramp is attacking you now, so let's dish this out and teach her a lesson. Axel was eager to kill Rosalind. I've had a habit since I was young to always save the best tasting food for last. Bella squinted her charming eyes and smiled dangerously. This trump card should only be used at a critical moment so that it'll give her a lethal blow. Justin brought Rosalind into his office under everyone's gaze. As soon as the door closed, Rosalind burst into tears and threw herself into Justin's arm, hugging his waist tightly. Justin, I am glad you came to pick me up. I was really scared just now. Justin's eyes darkened. He raised his hands and put them on Rosalind's shoulders, slowly pushing her away. Justin, Rosalind looked confused. Why did you do this? Justin's tone was cold, and his eyes were intimidating. Do what? Why did you go to Severo daily to expose our marital news? Rosalind secretly breathed a sigh of relief and hugged him again. Because I can't wait to marry you. Do you not want to marry me? I want to, but releasing the news like this is inappropriate. Justin's expression was stern. He was not as gentle as he was before. Why is it inappropriate? You and Anna are already divorced. We haven't finalized the divorce yet, and we promised Grandpa that we wouldn't finalize it until after his 80th birthday. Justin subconsciously withdrew from Rosalind. Before that happens, she is still my wife in name. Now that you have exposed our marital news, all three parties will be affected. Grandpa will be even more against you now. Justin was a direct man who always considered the pros and cons of everything. He was only gentle to Rosalind, but what he said just now was a bit harsh on her. That was because he thought that his childhood sweetheart would understand him. As a result, Rosalind could not grasp the point. Her eyes turned red with anger. Three parties will be affected. Justin, did you feel uncomfortable when you saw people criticizing Anna as the third party? Sorry for her. Do you feel? I don't. But Anna isn't the third party. The situation shouldn't have turned out like this. Justin pinched the center of his eyebrows, feeling a dull headache. Why not? She obviously came between us. Rosalind was so angry that she stomped her feet. Her voice was shrill and unpleasant, piercing Justin's eardrums and making his headache worse. If it weren't for her, I would have been with you. It's all her fault. She occupied my position for 3 whole years. Anna was only my wife in name for 3 years. It was so that Grandpa would give in. Without her, you and I would never be together. After Huston finished speaking, his heart clenched. Right, if Anna had not left him by the end of their 3-year contract marriage, his grandfather would never let him and Rosalind be together. That woman was always the first to greet him with a smile when he came home. She helped him change, heated his bath water, and quietly took care of everything so that he would never have to. There was no fighting, crying, or fuss. Even after she signed the divorce papers and left Tideview Manor, she did not complain at all. Even though Anna chose to be with Asher in the end, she had fulfilled her duties as a wife in the past 3 years. Justin, on the other hand, had only used her since the beginning. He had only looked forward to the end of their 3-year marriage contract every day so that he could be with someone else. Justin knew that he owed Anna much more than she owed him. Justin, are you siding with that woman now? Rosalind was stunned. She felt that she could no longer understand what Justin was thinking. No, I am just stating facts. At this time, the phone rang. Justin took it out and saw that it was his grandfather calling. He frowned. He opened the door and saw Lance standing outside. Ian, get more bodyguards to escort Ems Gold home. Yes, Mr. Salvador. Lan then gestured for Rosalind to walk forward. Justin, I don't want to go back, I'm so scared. Rosalind's eyes were filled with tears as she held his hand tightly. Don't be scared. Just don't comment on anything the reporters say. I'll take care of the rest. Ads by Pub Future. Justin sent her out with a stern look on his face, closed the door, and answered his grandfather's call, enduring the pain from his headache. Hi, Grandpa. Justin, how dare you break your promise to me? Are you so eager to marry that bitch? Nigel was so angry that he yelled over the phone. If you marry that Rosalind girl, I will never acknowledge you as my grandson. Grandpa, today's news has nothing to do with me. It's all her fault. She occupied my position for 3 whole years. Anna was only my wife in name for 3 years. It was so that Grandpa would give in. Without her, you and I would never be together. After Justin finished speaking, his heart clenched. Right. If Anna had not left him by the end of their 3-year contract marriage, his grandfather would never let him and Rosalind be together. That woman was always the first to greet him with a smile when he came home. She helped him change, heated his bath water, and quietly took care of everything so that he would never have to worry. There was no fighting, crying, or fuss. Even after she signed the divorce papers and left Tideview Manor, she did not complain at all. Even though Anna chose to be with Asher in the end, she had fulfilled her duties as a wife in the past 3 years. Justin, on the other hand, had only used her since the beginning. He had only looked forward to the end of their 3-year marriage contract every day so that he could be with someone else. Justin knew that he owed Anna much more than she owed him. Justin, are you siding with that woman now? Rosalind was stunned. She felt that she could no longer understand what Justin was thinking. No, I'm just stating facts. At this time, the phone rang. Justin took it out and saw that it was his grandfather calling. He frowned. He opened the door and saw Ian standing outside. Ian, get more bodyguards to escort Ems Gold home. Yes, Mr. Salvador. Ian then gestured for Rosalind to walk forward. Justin, I don't want to go back, I'm so scared. Rosalind's eyes were filled with tears as she held his hand tightly. Don't be scared. Just don't comment on anything the reporters say. I'll take care of the rest. Justin sent her out with a stern look on his face, closed the door, and answered his grandfather's call, enduring the pain from his headache. Hi, Grandpa. Justin, how dare you break your promise to me? Are you so eager to marry that bitch? Nigel was so angry that he yelled over the phone. If you marry that Rosalind girl, I will never acknowledge you as my grandson. Grandpa, today's news has nothing to do with me. I think that Rosalind girl released it. She couldn't wait any longer because you haven't proposed to her yet, so she wanted to force your hand in marriage. Rose didn't do it. Please don't accuse her. Justin felt that his headache was getting worse. He tugged on his Windsor knot tie and slowly returned to the sofa, holding on to the wall as a support. He lied to his grandfather, who loved him the most, and he felt so guilty that his throat tightened. However, he had no choice. I won't allow you to marry Rosalind. I want you to get back together with Anna. Nigel did not care about what Justin thought and only wanted his grandson to be with his favorite Anna Brown. Grandpa, you promised me before that you'd let me make my own choice after 3 years. A cold sweat broke out on his forehead, and his breathing was unsteady. I don't have a chance with Anna. Rose is the only one for me. Fine. You blind bastard. I'll make sure to stay alive so that I can witness the day you regret losing Anna. After saying that, Nigel hung up the phone. Justin exhaled slowly and covered his forehead. He walked to the desk and hurriedly took out a painkiller. Ian had just returned from sending Rosalind to the lobby and happened to see Justin in pain. He hurriedly came over to help him. 1. Mr. Salvador, how are you feeling? Do you have another headache? Ads by Pub Future. I'm fine. Justin sat down slowly, closed his eyes, and rubbed his swollen temples. You shouldn't keep taking painkillers. I remember that the young madam used to give you massages and acupuncture over the past 3 years, which relieved your headaches. Why did it relapse? Ian sighed in distress. It would be great if the young madam was here. You were always able to sleep peacefully after her acupuncture session. Don't mention her name. Justin took a deep breath and felt frustrated. By the way, I have sent someone to investigate what you asked for. Ian's eyes flickered, and he hesitated to speak. Continue. The person behind the two accounts that exposed the young madam was Ems Gold. Justin looked up abruptly. His heart clenched. Are you sure? How is that possible? I've triple-checked, Ian said in a low voice, otherwise, how could everything be such a coincidence? As soon as your marital news was announced, someone exposed the young madam. It's clearly a planned move. Justin froze for a moment and slumped over, feeling powerless. Rose, why would you do this? He knew that Rosalind loved and cared about him. He also knew that Rosalind did not like Anna, but Rosalind should not have vented her anger like this. 1. Go and deal with it, no matter the cost. I don't want to see any of that negative news before sunset. When Rosalind returned home, her parents and her brother, Zeke, were overjoyed to see her. Oh, Rose, this trick of yours is so effective. Zeke was so happy that he grinned from ear to ear. As soon as you announced your marriage to Mr. Salvador, our company's predicament was easily resolved. Now, many hotels and guest houses are looking to place orders with us. We'll be filthy rich now. Her father also praised her. You make our family proud. Previously, KS Group's hotels returned all of Alia Furniture's bedding products and permanently cancelled the contract, which made other industry players question Gold Corporation's standards. Many hotels that had already placed orders with them also cancelled their orders. As a result, Gold Corporation suffered heavy losses. Zeke and his father were also anxious. Therefore, Rosalind thought of announcing her marital news to save her family business. Sure enough, the results were remarkable. Being affiliated with Salvador Corporation saved them. However, Rosalind was not happy about this. She looked glum. Do you know how much it costs me to save our family business? Justin quarreled with me today, and that old man will probably hate me even more. What are you afraid of? How many more years can the dying old man be around? Don't worry, he'll be gone soon. Zeke smiled sinisterly. As soon as that old man is dead, Aunt Shannon will control Gregory Salvador, and you can control Justin. That way, the entire Salvador Corporation will be under our control. That's right. Rosalind's mother came over to stroke Rosalind's hair. Her eyes flashed with greed as she said, as long as Justin loves you, his grandfather won't be able to stop you from marrying into their family. Your Aunt Shannon is the best example. Rosalind felt comforted after hearing this and nodded confidently. This time, she would marry Justin no matter what and become the CEO's wife that everyone envies. Ian said in a low voice, otherwise, how could everything be such a coincidence? As soon as your marital news was announced, someone exposed the young madam. It's clearly a planned move. Justin froze for a moment and slumped over, feeling powerless. Rose, why would you do this? He knew that Rosalind loved and cared about him. He also knew that Rosalind did not like Anna, but Rosalind should not have vented her anger like this. 1. Go and deal with it, no matter the cost. I don't want to see any of that negative news before sunset. When Rosalind returned home, her parents and her brother, Zeke, were overjoyed to see her. Oh, Rose, this trick of yours is so effective. Zeke was so happy that he grinned from ear to ear. As soon as you announced your marriage to Mr. Salvador, our company's predicament was easily resolved. Now, many hotels and guest houses are looking to place orders with us. We'll be filthy rich now. Her father also praised her. You make our family proud. Previously, KS Group's hotels returned all of Alia Furniture's bedding products and permanently cancelled the contract, which made other industry players question Gold Corporation's standards. Many hotels that had already placed orders with them also cancelled their orders. As a result, Gold Corporation suffered heavy losses. Zeke and his father were also anxious. Therefore, Rosalind thought of announcing her marital news to save her family business. Sure enough, the results were remarkable. Being affiliated with Salvador Corporation saved them. However, Rosalind was not happy about this. She looked glum. Do you know how much it costs me to save our family business? Justin quarreled with me today, and that old man will probably hate me even more. What are you afraid of? How many more years can the dying old man be around? Don't worry, he'll be gone soon. Zeke smiled sinisterly. As soon as that old man is dead, Aunt Shannon will control Gregory Salvador, and you can control Justin. That way, the entire Salvador Corporation will be under our control. That's right. Rosalind's mother came over to stroke Rosalind's hair. Her eyes flashed with greed as she said, as long as Justin loves you, his grandfather won't be able to stop you from marrying into their family. Your Aunt Shannon is the best example. Rosalind felt comforted after hearing this and nodded confidently. This time, she would marry Justin no matter what and become the CEO's wife that everyone envies. The sun was setting, tinting the sky a golden hue. Justin sat tiredly in the back seat as the luxury car drove toward Tideview Manor. Mr. Salvador, I have dealt with the people who defamed the young madam. Their accounts have been blocked, and we have sued them. But the trending topic of your marital news couldn't be suppressed. Jan looked troubled. Justin looked out the window with dark eyes. On the way home, Justin had the impulse to contact Anna. But he recalled how badly their last conversation ended, and he felt somewhat embarrassed to go through Asher to talk to her again. Even if she answered the call, what would he say? Should he apologize for what happened today? Justin could not bring himself to apologize, but he also felt guilty and suffocated. When the Rolls-Royce was about to arrive at Tideview Manor, Justin suddenly frowned and said, "Stop here." The driver stepped on the brakes and stopped on the side of the road. Before Ian could ask anything, Justin opened the car door and stepped out. He crossed the road and went straight to a retro-looking tailor shop. Well-tailored suits were displayed at the translucent window, and a signboard hung overhead that read, "Vesterias." Justin suddenly remembered seeing this name on the gift box that Anna left behind, which held the suit she made. He pushed open the door and walked in. The wind chimes rang, and an old tailor came out. "Sir, are you here to pick up clothes or looking to make clothes?" Justin was in a daze for a moment. He asked after a short hesitation. "Did a woman in her 20s make a men's suit at your place about a month ago?" "Yeah, there was a young lady who came every day. I had a deep impression of her because she was so skilled." The old tailor's eyes lit up when he thought of Anna. "That girl is very talented in design as well. I've been doing this for 40 years, but to be honest, I can't compare to her." "Did she come here every day back then?" Justin asked in a low voice as his throat tightened. "Yes, she came on time every morning and worked on the suit until we closed in the evening." There, the sun was setting, tinting the sky a golden hue. Justin sat tiredly in the back seat as the luxury car drove toward Tideview Manor. "Mr. Salvador, I have dealt with the people who defamed the young madam. Their accounts have been blocked, and we have sued them. But the trending topic of your marital news couldn't be suppressed." Ian looked troubled. Justin looked out the window with dark eyes. On the way home, Justin had the impulse to contact Anna. But he recalled how badly their last conversation ended, and he felt somewhat embarrassed to go through Asher to talk to her again. Even if she answered the call, what would he say? Should he apologize for what happened today? Justin could not bring himself to apologize, but he also felt guilty and suffocated. When the Rolls-Royce was about to arrive at Tideview Manor, Justin suddenly frowned and said, "Stop here." The driver stepped on the brakes and stopped on the side of the road. Before Ian could ask anything, Justin opened the car door and stepped out. Ads by Pub Future. He crossed the road and went straight to a retro-looking tailor shop. Well-tailored suits were displayed at the translucent window, and a signboard hung overhead that read, "Vesterias." Justin suddenly remembered seeing this name on the gift box that Anna left behind, which held the suit she made. He pushed open the door and walked in. The wind chimes rang, and an old tailor came out. "Sir, are you here to pick up clothes or looking to make clothes?" Justin was in a daze for a moment. He asked after a short hesitation. "Did a woman in her 20s make a men's suit at your place about a month ago?" "Yeah, there was a young lady who came every day. I had a deep impression of her because she was so skilled." The old tailor's eyes lit up when he thought of Anna. "That girl is very talented in design as well. I've been doing this for 40 years, but to be honest, I can't compare to her." "Did she come here every day back then?" Justin asked in a low voice as his throat tightened. "Yes, she came on time every morning and worked on the suit until we closed in the evening. There were a few times I caught her resting on the table because she was so exhausted. Sometimes, she would even forget to drink water all day. That poor child." The old tailor recalled. I asked her whether it was for her father or her boyfriend. She blushed and said it was for her husband. I didn't expect her to be married at such a young age. I wonder who's the lucky man. Husband. This word was like a thorn in Justin's heart. Her eyes sparkled when she talked about her husband. I think she must love her husband very much. Otherwise, she wouldn't make everything from scratch, right? Every stitch was made with love. Oh, right. Who are you? How do you know about her? Justin's Adam's apple bobbed. Somehow, he blurted out, I'm her husband. The old tailor was dumbfounded. He took a hard look at Justin and said, well, you two are the best looking couple there is. What a perfect match. When Justin came out of the shop, the afterglow of the sunset shone on his face. Everything felt like a dream. Anna had put him in this state. Did she really love him? But was she schizophrenic? If she loved him so much, how could she cut off all ties with him and throw herself into the arms of another man? Justin felt that his heart was empty. It was something he had never felt before. Mr. Salvador, why did you go to a tailor? You usually wear high-end brands. When did you change your taste? Ian was completely oblivious. Nothing. Let's go back. Suddenly, his phone vibrated. Justin almost got PTSD from his phone today. He frowned and took it out to take a look, then heaved a sigh of relief. It was a call from his best friend, Ryan Hoffman, heir to Hoffman Corporation. What's up? Let's go out and celebrate tonight. Ryan's voice was cheery and playful. What are we celebrating? Well, that depends on you. We can either celebrate your upcoming wedding or your divorce. Get lost. Haha, just kidding. My new nightclub is opening today. Why don't you come over to support me? You haven't seen me in so long. Have you forgotten about me? Do you not love me anymore? Justin hesitated for a moment and took a deep breath. I'll see you tonight. Ads by Pub Future. That night, Bella took charge and cooked a sumptuous dinner for Axel. Bella, you are allergic to smoke. Although it's not a severe allergy, you should avoid it as much as possible. Axel looked at the table of delicious food and became concerned about Bella's health. It's okay. I'm used to it. Only then did Bella realize that she had spilled the beans. She was so relaxed with her brother that she let down her guard. What the hell? Have you been cooking for that jerk every day for the past 3 years? I'll fucking kill him. Axel was so angry that he almost flipped the table. It's nothing. It's normal for a wife to cook for her husband. It doesn't matter anymore. I won't ever do such a thing again. Bella laughed heartily, but she could not hide the sadness and disappointment in her eyes. Axel, who had always been a jokester, suddenly became serious. He walked up to her, opened his arms, and hugged his sister like an oyster shell protecting a pearl. Just treat the past 3 years as volunteering for a dog shelter. The 4 of us will pamper you for the rest of your life, princess. At 9 p.m. sharp, Hoffman Corporation's newly opened nightclub, Ace, was filled with celebrities. After all, everyone wanted to support Ryan Hoffman. A global limited edition Bugatti rode to a stop at the entrance to Ace. Axel, who was in the passenger seat, was the first to get out. He was wearing casual attire, which was different from his usually meticulous and solemn get-up when he went to work as a prosecutor. He looked young, handsome, and aristocratic. At this time, the driver's door opened. Bella put her hand on Axel's palm and stepped out of the car, revealing her long legs. Tonight, she wore a tight and sexy silver spaghetti strap dress. It was dazzling in the dim light. Her long black hair was styled into big waves, and she wore a pair of unique diamond tassel earrings, which made her face glow. Every guy standing outside the nightclub was drooling when they saw Bella. Axel was so frightened that he pulled his sister closer and said, OMG, I think your dress is too revealing. Look at them. Is it? But I think I look pretty. Bella raised her eyebrows charmingly. You are. But you're so pretty that I'm afraid these wolves will pounce on you and eat you if I'm not careful. If anyone dares to pounce on me, I'll pluck out his teeth one by one. Bella smiled deviously. The nightclub was buzzing with excitement and adrenaline. Axel did not dare sit at the bar with his sister, so he booked a booth and ordered a table of expensive alcohol. He sat there sternly to keep the lewd men away. Sigh, I regret coming with you, Ax. There are so many hotties here. Bella shook her wine glass and smiled dejectedly. You really shouldn't be cock-blocking me now that I'm divorced. What the hell, Bella? Getting divorced doesn't mean that you're not worth anything. Can you please stop coming to this sort of place to choose a man? You need to have higher standards. Axel sat closer to Bella because he could not stop the lustful gazes that were sizing her up. At this moment, Ryan and Justin walked to the relatively quiet luxury booth on the second floor. Mr. Salvador, you're dressed so meticulously in a suit. Ryan sized Justin up, shaking his head. Are you glued to your suit? You came here to have fun, not to discuss acquisitions. Almost all the nightclubs in Savro are losing money every year. Your place isn't worth my money. Justin sat down gracefully. Haha, do you think I'll lose money? Are you not losing money now? I am, but I'm not afraid. All I have is money. Haha, Ryan laughed heartily. He picked up the whiskey glass and scanned the crowd downstairs while drinking. Suddenly, he squinted his eyes and exclaimed, damn. She's fucking hot. She dresses like she owns the place. Justin had never been interested in women, but Ryan forced him to look. When he saw who Ryan was referring to, Justin's eyes darkened, and his blood boiled. It was Anna Brown. Who was the man next to her? Asher Thompson. Who is sitting next to that hottie? Wait, isn't that Asher Thompson, the CEO of KS Group from Hatch Bay? Ryan raised his eyebrows and said in a playful tone, I thought Asher was an ascetic who had never set foot in a club. Haha, did he finally give in to temptation? Justin and Ryan had both mistaken Axel for Asher. That was because Bella's brothers were actually quadruplets. Among them, Asher and Axel were identical, so people who were unfamiliar with them could not tell them apart. Damn, I'm so jealous. That hottie should be my girl. It's a waste for her to be with Asher. Ryan became more enthusiastic as he spoke. Downstairs, Bella was smiling sweetly at Asher. Justin just felt annoyed. Back then, that smile belonged to him alone. What annoyed him even more was that the online slander seemed to have no effect on her. She was still in the mood to have fun. On the other hand, Justin had been worried all day. He was either busy cleaning up the mess or thinking about how he should explain it to her. I should hook up with her tonight. I don't care that she is Asher's woman. I can still score even if there is a goalkeeper. Ryan licked his lower lip, ready to make a move. Don't mess with her. She's my wife. 1. Ads by Pub Future. Ryan widened his eyes in shock. What? Ex-wife, Justin added. He felt as if his throat was burning. What? She's your nonsensical and boring ex-wife. Bro, are you blind or stupid? I think you must be blind and stupid. Look at her. She's such a rare treasure. She's 100 times better than your beloved Rosalind. Justin shot Ryan a cold look. Ryan stuck out his tongue and said, well, I'm just stating the facts. Also, I asked to meet her back then, but you said there was no need for that. So I thought she must look like a beast. I didn't expect, hey, where are you going? Before Ryan finished speaking, Justin rushed out. Bella and her second brother, Axel, had a few rounds of drinks. Her fair cheeks were tinted red. Bella, are you okay? Axel asked with concern when he noticed that she was a little drunk. Roll the dice. Bella could hold her liquor, but she was purposely drowning her sorrows. At this time, Axel's boss called, so he had to answer it because there might be an urgent case. He said apologetically, Bella, wait for me here. I need to answer this call, but I'll be right back. Bella waved her hand nonchalantly. You're dismissed. As soon as the cock-blocker was gone, the men around Bella gradually approached her, like sharks smelling blood. Bella's eyes twitched. She glanced at them idly, studying them. She thought, this one is too short, this one is too thin, his nose bridge is too flat, his eyes are too. Ads by Pub Future. Small. No one can compare to my ex-husband. It was too bad that Justin's good looks turned out to be a complete waste. Justin failed to live up to Bella's expectations. At this time, Bella noticed several young men making noises in the booth next to her. Another man was forcing a woman to drink. The man with the lecherous smile was none other than Rosalind's brother, Zeke Gold. What Bella could not stand was seeing a man secretly spike the drink before handing it to Zeke. Bella was furious. She stood up and walked toward them. 1. Yo, what a hottie. The young men were drooling when they saw Bella. As soon as Zeke saw Bella, he instantly thought that the woman in his arms was Sappa. Can I join you guys? You seem like you're having so much fun. Bella's drunken look added to her charm. We'll do whatever you want us to. Zeke licked his lips. His eyes were lecherous. Bella picked up the spiked drink and said, simple, just drink it all. The few people around them fell silent. Zeke's lewd face darkened. All of them knew that the drink was spiked, so only a fool would drink it. Shall I feed you? As soon as Bella said that, she narrowed her almond-shaped eyes and raised her hand to splash the drink on Zeke's face. Everyone was shocked. The woman on the side screamed in fright and shrank back. You bitch! How dare you splash that wine on me? Do you know who I am? Zeke was so angry that he cursed at Bella as he wiped his face. Why would I care who you are? You are a lowly bastard who wants to spike her drink. Bella casually flipped her long hair. Her eyes were seductive. Zeke was infuriated that a woman was insulting him. If it were not for the crowd around them, he would have slapped her. At this time, two of Zeke's bodyguards came forward after getting Zeke's signal to remove Bella. Zeke wanted to punish Bella better yet, on a bed. The two burly bodyguards rushed forward but missed. Even though Bella was drunk, she dodged quickly due to her muscle memory. Too slow. Bella yawned. Get her, Zeke yelled while wiping his face. One of the bodyguards got up and grabbed Bella's shoulders. Unexpectedly, another man stood in front of Bella and twisted the bodyguard's arm. Ads by Pub Future. The bodyguard, who was about 180 centimeters tall, was knocked to the ground in the blink of an eye. Nice one. Bella hiccuped and squinted her eyes. Her limp body leaned back. Suddenly, a strong hand held her slender waist. She could feel the man's warm breath against her cheek, which tickled her. Who are you? Don't touch me. Bella struggled for a moment. Anna, open your eyes and see who I am. It was such a familiar voice that was so cool, deep, and captivating. Bella's heart was beating wildly. She raised her eyes little by little, meeting Justin's ruthless yet charming eyes. The man's eyes narrowed slightly and darkened. Bella's flaming red lips were so sexy. If it were not for her clear and innocent doe-like eyes, Justin would not have recognized that she was Anna Brown, the woman whom he had been married to for the past 3 years. Anna, you're really something. Are you so reckless now because you have Asher Thompson's support? Yeah, so what? Bella lifted her chin and looked haughty. I just don't like anyone from the Gold family and feel like beating them up. Do you have any objections? Even if you do, I don't care. Ads by Pub Future. Justin tightened his grip on her waist to hurt her. Ouch, it hurts, let me go. Bella squirmed in Justin's arms. Her voice was soft because she was drunk. Justin was attracted to her. His eyes darkened. Justin. Zeke was shocked. Mr. Gold, what do you mean by this? Justin looked at Zeke coldly. Rose and I aren't married yet. Please address me formally. Zeke was rendered speechless. Bella thought, Rose, how disgusting. She hated Justin's nickname for Rosalind. After 3 years of marriage, Justin never had a pet name for Anna. The more she thought about it, the more miserable she got. She tried her best to break away from his grip because she would rather fall than let this jerk touch her. Apologize to her, Justin commanded Zeke. However, his eyes never left Bella's so that he could ensure that she was alright. Zeke said resentfully, this crazy bitch came over and splashed wine in my face. She attacked me for no reason, so she is the one who should apologize. Watch your words. Justin's eyes darkened. She's my ex-wife. Zeke was so shocked that his jaw almost dropped to the ground. It turned out that she was Justin Salvador's mysterious ex-wife. Zeke had to admit that she looked much prettier than his sister. If Rosalind were not Justin's childhood sweetheart, she might not be able to hold a candle to this charming woman. Mr. Salvador, even if she is your ex-wife, that's not a reason for me to apologize to her. Zeke refused to give in. Get her to apologize to me, then I'll pretend that none of this happened. If I had arrived a little later, your bodyguards would have already done something to her. Justin's face turned cold. Even if nothing happened, it doesn't mean that you are off the hook. Apologize to her. Zeke was scared, but he still remained calm on the surface. Bella's face was flushed because she was drunk. All she heard was, ex-wife, and apologize. She thought to herself, is this jerk asking me to apologize? I'm nice enough not to twist his head off. Ads by Pub Future. That's too troublesome. I think it's better to just send him to the police station or drag him out and beat him up. Ryan Hoffman had a playful smile on his handsome face. He led 2 rows of bodyguards over, looking like a mafia boss. What reason do you have to beat me up? We have laws in the country. Seeing Ryan, Zeke was so frightened that his voice trembled. Ryan hooked his finger. The woman who was forced to drink earlier timidly hid behind Ryan. First of all, these girls only sell drinks or dance on stage. They don't have to serve customers. You have already broken my rules by forcing her to drink with you. Secondly, drugs aren't allowed in my club. I hate it most when people do drugs on my turf. I'll beat up whoever breaks my rules. You should really thank Ems Brown. If she hadn't stopped you from drugging my staff, you wouldn't have walked out of my club alive. Justin was shocked to hear this. So that was what happened. Haha, well done, bro. Bella narrowed her eyes into little crescents and gave Ryan a thumbs up. Thanks for the compliment, Anna. Ryan winked at her. Justin felt an inexplicable tightness in his chest when he saw their interaction. Justin, what do you think of this arrangement? Ryan asked. It's feasible, Justin said curtly. I'm sorry, Mr. Salvador, I really didn't know that she was your ex-wife. I'll apologize to her. I'm Ads by Pub Future. Sorry, Ems Brown. Zeke gritted his teeth. He was unwilling to apologize to Bella. Justin still felt that it was not enough, but he discovered that Anna had gone missing. Are you looking for your ex-wife? She's right there. Ryan whistled and pursed his lips in the direction of the stage. Justin narrowed his eyes, and his heart trembled. Under the strobe lights, Anna swayed her hips seductively on the dance floor. Her smile was charming, and the bright lights appeared dim in comparison to her. Bella was completely drunk. She did not know what she was doing. She only felt like she was flying, completely free. Suddenly, she fell backward. Someone screamed, but she fell into a hard and warm embrace. She could barely see Justin's angry face when she said drunkenly, I want to puke. Justin dragged Bella into the men's bathroom. She threw up in the toilet until she almost passed out. No matter how beautiful she was, she looked wretched after puking. Justin stared at her coldly from the doorway at first. However, when he saw that she was in real pain, he walked over to her and patted her back. After vomiting, Bella walked to the sink in a daze to wash and gargle her mouth. Ugh, I feel sick. You were asking for it. Why did you drink so much? Justin stood on the side, frowning. Because I'm sad. Bella was drunk and thought the man next to her was her brother, so she sobbed. Why doesn't Justin like me? Why? Justin's heart clenched as he pursed his lips and listened to her woes. I tried so hard, I really tried my best, but it seems that the more I try, the more he hates me. Why? Tell me why. Bella suddenly turned around and hugged the man. She buried her face in his chest and cried out loud. Her tears and makeup stained his clean shirt. Justin stood frozen on the spot. His throat tightened, and he felt every drop of her warm tears burning through his chest and soaking his heart. After a while, he asked in a low voice, Do you really like Justin? Bella raised her face, which was red from crying. Her crimson lips parted slightly. Justin's Adam's apple bobbed as he tried to resist the temptation to kiss her. He even regretted asking this question. It did not matter if she still liked him or not. Their divorce was impending, and the love of his life could only be Rosalind. Suddenly, the bathroom door was kicked open. Ads by Pub Future. Justin Salvador. What the fuck are you doing? How could you cheat on your fiancée? Axel's eyes were bloodshot from anger. He pulled Bella over, looking like a protective mother bear. Justin furrowed his brows. Asher Thompson has always been elegant and polite. If he's getting so furious because of a woman, it proves just how much he cares about my ex-wife. Suddenly, Justin felt suffocated. Mr. Thompson, she was drunk and puked earlier. If you really love her so much, you shouldn't have brought her to a place like this. Just as Axel wanted to retort, he noticed that Justin had mistaken him for Asher, so he played along and said, My girl can do whatever she wants. If she likes to go clubbing, I'll go with her. Mr. Salvador, since you're divorced, stop sticking your nose into her business. You should just take care of your fiancée. After that, Axel wanted to leave with Bella. However, Justin stopped him. What are you doing? Do you really love her? Justin asked in a deep voice. What the fuck? Will you marry her? Axel was momentarily rendered speechless because of this question. It's none of your business. Get out of my way. Anna is a regular girl. She can't stand having her heart broken. If you can't marry her and only treat her as a toy, then you shouldn't drag her down. You should let her live an ordinary life before it becomes anything serious. Justin was a little remorseful. Ads by Pub Future. Ha ha ha, Justin, I have never seen such a shameless person like you. Why didn't you consider all that when you divorced Anna for Rosalind Gold? Thanks to you, she's now divorced at such a young age. Do you think you didn't drag her down? Why did you marry her in the first place if you wanted to divorce her? You just wanted to use her to appease your grandfather so that you could marry your childhood sweetheart, right? You lowly bastard. Justin felt a stabbing pain in his heart. His strong chest muscles under his suit trembled faintly. Axel shoved him aside and said, "Get the hell out of my way, asshole." Justin did not know how he managed to return to his booth. All he could think about was what Asher said to him. Where's your ex-wife? Did she leave? Ryan leaned against the railing, sizing up Justin's flustered face while drinking wine. Yeah, Justin responded. He picked up the glass of whiskey and drank it in one gulp, feeling a burning sensation in his throat. If it weren't for your sake, I would have definitely beat up Zeke. How dare he drug my staff and touch my baby? You don't have to put up with him. He's not Rose. Suddenly, Justin came to his senses and frowned. Your baby? What do you mean by that? Well, since you don't want her anymore, I'll take over the baton from you, bro. Ryan raised his eyebrows and smiled deviously. I just don't know if you'll be able to accept seeing her around as my wife. I haven't even finalized my divorce with her yet, and you are already claiming her. Justin's eyes were dark as he sneered. Well, you've already signed the divorce papers, so you are not far off from making it official. I don't know. Justin clenched his fists. His handsome face was sinister. What I do know is that you're not that far off from death. Bella woke up and vomited again the next day. Bella, I remember that you used to be able to hold your alcohol. How did you get so drunk last night? Axel hurriedly handed her a glass of water to rinse her mouth and brought over some hangover medicine. I haven't touched alcohol in the past 3 years, so naturally, I'd get drunk after drinking so much all of a sudden last night. Bella knew that Justin did not like women who smelled like alcohol, so she gave up drinking in the 3 years since she was married to him. I know you're drunk, but those who don't will think that you have morning sickness. Axel teased her. If I was really pregnant with Justin's child, what would you guys do? There was a hint of grief in Bella's eyes. What else can we do? We'll help you raise the kid, of course. No matter what, that kid is innocent. Although Axel hated Justin with all his heart, he was still righteous. This was probably his professional ethics as a prosecutor. Don't worry, I won't carry his child. He's not worth it. Bella sneered and drank some water to clear her throat. Axel said, by the way, do you remember what happened last night? Ads by Pub Future. I remember finding trouble with Zeke Gold. I think Justin came over at some point, but I don't remember what happened after. You really don't remember? I think I saw another handsome guy who came to help me out. Ugh, I was too drunk at the time. Otherwise, I would have asked for his number. That's Ryan Hoffman. Ace is his new club. Bella lost all interest when she heard this infamous name. Never mind. I'm not interested in him. Did you know that Justin dragged you into the men's bathroom after that? Bella's eyes widened. What? I don't know what you two did in there. When I came in, you were hugging him and blowing your nose on his shirt. Axel shook his head when he thought about that embarrassing scene. Bella gasped. If I didn't arrive in time to take you away, that jerk face might have. He won't. Justin is not like Ryan. Bella held her forehead in frustration. Why are you defending him? I'm not. I just think he's a decent man. He's just heartless to me. After Bella said this, she could not help but feel heartbroken. Oh, but that jerk actually asked me if I would marry you. He even told me not to play with your feelings. She said that you are a regular girl and can't bear being hurt again. Ads by Pub Future. Axel sneered. He's so full of himself. Why does he think that he can stick his nose into your business? Wait, why did he mention this to you for no reason? That's because he mistook me for Asha, so I just played along and told him not to touch my girl. That jerk is probably angry. Axel was smug. What the hell? Bella was infuriated and punched Axel's handsome face. Steven prepared a delicious and hearty breakfast because he knew that Bella was hungover. Bella went downstairs wearing a pink silk nightgown. Her long hair was hanging loose on her shoulders. Although she was wearing a bra, she still looked sexy. Steven blushed and quickly looked away, not daring to take a closer look. Hey, there are single men in this house. Can you please consider our feelings? Axel rolled a hard-boiled egg on his bruised cheek and looked at Bella sternly. I'm tired of wearing white dresses and sneakers because I've been wearing them for the past 3 years. Now, I can wear whatever I want. Who can stop me? Bella rolled her eyes and took a bite of the sandwich. Why did you only wear white dresses and sneakers for the past 3 years? Did you teach Sunday school? You'll mislead the next generation of kids. Steven asked very seriously. It's none of your business. The Thompson siblings said in unison. Bella applied exquisite makeup and wore a white skirt suit and Jimmy Choos. She once again transformed into the beautiful boss of KS World Hotel, even though her head was throbbing like she had been slapped by a gorilla. Sitting in the office, Bella recalled the conversation with her second brother in the morning, feeling a little confused. Justin helped her out last night and said those words to Axel. Did he care about her? How was that possible? Justin just did not like that his once servile wife suddenly changed her style and served a new master, so he became possessive over her.